Otra de las cabezas del staff que tiene como objetivo aterrorizarnos es Gayle Gallagher, productora de Shadowland.
As the producer of the film, I'm kind of responsible for organizing everything, making sure that all the right people are in the right places at the right time, and it's really about putting together the big puzzle. But because we were such a small production, it kind of went beyond that as well, where both Wyatt, the director, and I were doing a lot more than that. We were doing a lot of the casting, we were doing a lot of the location scouting. There was just really, it was pretty much a two-man team for the pre-production part of it.
Why are you doing this to me?
I'm trying to save you. I've been trying to save you all along, from the first time I saw you.
Save me?
Laura, do you remember the pastor? He was trying to save you too.
Save me? The pastor wanted to possess me.
And the location. To do the period stuff for Shadowland, we got really lucky that there's a part of St. Louis that is actually older. And it was a matter of removing some street signs and making sure there was no cars, and it really kind of lent itself to that time period. But then we also got a lot of help from, we had a wardrobe person, but there's also, on that same street that we shot the film, there's a photography studio that does the old time photos. And they were really helpful, and they were lending us a lot of the costumes. And one thing that was kind of funny about the costumes, though, because it was a place where you would go in and get your picture taken in these old clothes, the seams on the back of the dresses had all been torn open. So the girls wearing the long period dresses, they were all just kind of clipped together in the back. So we had to make sure that they never turned away from camera. And then the makeup too. We actually had a couple of different makeup artists that we had come in and do some tests and make sure that the styles look good, that they fit what the period would be, that it wasn't very modern makeup in an old time setting. And if I can just launch right into more on the makeup, the gal that we finally got for the makeup stuff, she not only did the beauty makeup, but she did the special effects makeup also. Scene that we were shooting in a cemetery, and in the film Laura, the main character, is wandering around, and she happens to wander upon this cemetery that is where it turns out her family is buried. This is a Jewish cemetery, very nice, very, very elegant cemetery. And the owners of the cemetery, they were great, and there was a chain of command that in order to get permission to shoot there, we had to kind of go through this chain of command. They said, you know, person number one says, yes, you can shoot there, but I need permission, but as long as there's not a funeral. And then the next person would agree, sign off and say, okay, yes, so long as there's not a funeral. If there's a funeral, then you're not going to be able to shoot near the funeral. You can still shoot, you just need to shoot elsewhere in the cemetery. And this kind of went up the chain, and they're like, okay, now the managing director, he's retired, but he needs to sign off. We keep him involved. And the word was, as long as there's not a funeral. So we start shooting on Monday. The cemetery scene is supposed to be shot on Tuesday. Sunday afternoon, we get a call. This managing director has died. There's not going to be a funeral, there's going to be the funeral. So there's no way we can shoot in this location. So 2 days before we're supposed to shoot this scene, I have to get on the phone and scramble and try and rearrange the whole schedule and fit things in, and okay, we got to shoot the cemetery some other time, and we got to move this here, and so there was a lot of that went on. But we made sure that we didn't let everybody know what was going on, you know, that it was an emergency, it was tragic, but we wanted to make sure that the crew didn't think that I was over here losing my mind, you know, it was all under control.
En segundos, más información acerca del film dirigido por Wyatt Weed y protagonizado por el venezolano Carlos León. No se desconecten.